Alright guys, it has been months since I've done an update on my little 5-gallon Pico Reef here. And man, I'm trying to remember back the last video I did on this and what has changed. And I remember a few things, but probably not everything, so I'll just go over everything I've got going on here. Biggest change is the lighting. I've added a Kessel A80 reef light there. Got that at Black Friday, so that's still quite new. That replaces my little DIY aquarium light, which I made out of the hard drive before. Had some videos on that, so kind of retired that. It worked well, but I really wanted one of these lights, so I went ahead and got that. And see some stuff on the side there. I am still working on my DIY aquarium controller. More on that in a future video. We're going to talk about the tank today, which is sort of a little test bed that I've been using for this. So anyway, aside from the lighting, there's probably some new corals and stuff in here. And I am quite impressed with how this little tank has come together. I've got the lights turned on, excuse me, full white light right now. And we'll go ahead and turn it down into the blues in a little bit. But just kind of wanted to give you a view of what it looks like in the natural lighting. And yeah, I got quite a bit going on in here. So let's see what to start with. So obviously I've got some zoanthids scattered throughout here. Doing okay. Got a rock flower anemone up here in the center, which last night he was over here. And I woke up this morning, he's decided to shift over to here. I did do a water change yesterday, and I can't adjust the flow too much, but I did adjust the pump to produce a little bit more flow. I only had it on half. There's a little adjustment in there. So maybe that had something to do with him wanting to move. I don't know. He sat here for months, and he was very happy there. Now he's moved over to the center, which is good. Because I couldn't really see him before. He was all bunched up in the corner. And I think I have a video from last night I can show. Let's see what else. Some pulsing zinnia. And if you remember way back, this little tank actually started out as a 1.5 gallon little acrylic cube. It was a little Pico tank that I had. Just way too small to do anything with it. Didn't even really have a light on it. It was just kind of sitting on the windowsill. So I went ahead and got this 5-gallon aquarium a few months back. It was on sale at PetSmart, and with a couple of coupons, I think it cost me like 17 bucks. Couldn't beat that. So that's what I've got going on in here now. And I just moved everything over into here. And those zinnias were one of the things I moved over into here. I've got those Kenya trees, which I've got, focused on right there. They have never really opened up very much in here. Don't know why. I think maybe they need more flow. And there really isn't a whole lot of flow going on in here. It's only that one little circuit, return pump, I guess you would call it. I don't know. If I could ever find a, circulation pump or wave maker small enough, I might want to add one into here. But yeah, just some various mushrooms in here. Zoanthids. I believe that's Anthelia. It's kind of grown quite a bit in here. Some gorgonians. Different types of mushrooms. And then for the livestock, if I can get it to focus on him. I do have 3 sexy shrimp in here. You can see the one back there on that Dragon's Breath macroalgae, which I believe I got from Dave's Nano Tanks. Thank you, Dave. And there's 2 other ones in here somewhere. Not sure where they're at yet. Let's see if we can find them. I do have this mushroom in here. It's just really kind of cool. I don't know if I've ever seen one like it before, and I'd like to get some more. It's a really cool little blue. I don't know if it's a fuzzy mushroom or what they're called, but got that at a frag swap. And this thing, don't really know what that thing is, just kind of grew there. It's some kind of a snail or worm or something, I don't know. Doesn't seem to bother anything. Green star polyps, they were up in the front at one point and moved them back here to the side so we can get them to kind of grow up there. And there is one fish in here. Oh, there's one of the other shrimp. There is one fish in here, and I wish I could show him to you, but I'll be honest, I've never really even seen him. I mean, I've seen him, but never really got a good look at him. I'll have to put like a picture in here. It is called, I believe it's called like a white gecko goby. It's really neat looking black and white goby. He's tiny. I put him in here, and he just hides under the rocks like all of the time. I've seen him come out to grab a bit of food from time to time, but I don't know. I kind of want something that I'm going to be able to see more of in here. And I do have the fish for it, which I'll show you in a little bit. So I don't know. I think I'm going to try and get this little goby out of here because he's not really doing anything for the tank. The problem is he hides under the rocks, and the only way to get him out of here is to tear this whole thing apart, which I really don't feel like doing, but I guess if I have to, I have to. Let's see if we can see him. Usually back there in that little cave. You may have seen some movement down there. That's about as much as I ever see of that little fish. So that's that. So yeah, I might try and get him out of here, or I just may add the other fish. I don't know. I got these other two little tiny antenna gobies, which I think will be pretty cool in here. Which maybe I can go get a shot of those guys, show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so these are the little guys that I want to put in that 5-gallon aquarium. There are two of these guys in there. I don't know if you can see the one hiding back there behind the algae. They've just been sitting in this 20-gallon, I don't know, algae tank that I set up before. Just kind of threw a bunch of algae in here and let it sit. But they've been in here doing just fine. Little tiny guys, little pair of them. And I want to put these guys in to that 5-gallon tank. I think they'll do just fine in there. These guys are a lot more willing to come out in the open. So next time I do a video on that little 5-gallon, I would expect that these guys are going to be in there. Really cool little fish. But anyway, back to the other tank. Alright, so that was the fish that I want to put into this tank. I think they'll be a good addition. In the meantime, I've gone ahead and thrown some flake food in here. I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky and see that other goby come out and snatch a piece. Won't hold my breath though, but we'll see what happens. Every once in a while he'll just dart out, grab something, and head back in, but really hard to catch him. Never actually got him on camera, so. Yeah, so that's what I've got going on in here. And trying to think what else. Up top, there's some more pulsing zinnia. I actually took some off at the top, and I'll probably take that chunk off up there as well. They were kind of surrounding those clove polyps, which I want to grow all over the top of that rock up there. I think they were kind of choking them out, so I took out a big chunk of them. There's still a little bit left behind. I might pull them out too, because I've already got some down here. And I don't want to overcrowd the whole tank with the zinnia. Oh, this leather coral. There's a story behind that guy. I can't believe that thing is what it is right now. That was actually a leather coral from my main 180-gallon display. And the thing got huge. It's not the big one that's in there now. This was another one that was down in the corner of the tank. It got really big and actually was hosting clownfish. And then it kind of just got it shaded out by some, there was some euphilia down there, and then some other corals start growing, over top of it. Kind of shaded it out, and then it just started to die off and just shrank back into almost nothing. And I pulled it out, and it just continued to wither away into this little stump. And then finally, it, just started to rejuvenate itself. And now it's coming back. So it just, I'll have to find a picture of this, when it was fully grown. But it grew into this really big coral, then sort of die all the way back, and just shriveled up into nothing. And now it's starting to come back again. So it's kind of cool that I was able to save it. And it seems like he found a nice little home here, so I'll keep him there for a while. And so yeah, I think that's all there is to say about this little tank. There's really not a whole lot to it. I've tried to keep all soft corals in here so far. Just anything that's going to be easy to keep. I don't dose anything into here. I just do, 1 or 2 gallon water change whenever I do it. And, that's it. Filtration, there's just one of those standard little media bags in there, or like filter bags that you get on, any old PetSmart pump with just some carbon in it. That's all I'm using. Just replace that. There's a little heater back here behind the thing. There's a little pump that it came with. This did come with its own light, but I didn't like that, so that's why I've replaced it with this light. And then I have some probes in there that are hooked up to this, but this isn't about that today. I'll show you about that in another video. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So, let's take one last look down there. Do we see him? I don't think so. He's down there. Alright, we're not going to see him today. Alright, guys. I think that's all there is to say about this tank today. If you have any questions, leave them below. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.